little is known really about NAR level 3 recovery homes, which is what I'm focusing on, and even less about how they operate and what approaches they take to working with criminal legal system involved people, or CLS, who are seeking recovery support. And so my particular aim of this study was to identify effective policies and procedures for working with CLS, criminal legal system involved clients who are receiving medication for opioid use disorder. So I conducted a case study of 4 NAR level 3 Chicago-based recovery homes serving this population. It was about sort of diving a little bit deeper into how these homes operate and how they work most effectively with this population.
We know from other research and plenty of anecdote and observation over many years that acceptance of medications, specifically medications like buprenorphine and methadone, and to some extent naltrexone, that acceptance of them is pretty low in many recovery housing environments, and the stigma and barriers are high. But at present, we really don't have any decent way to measure what those barriers are, both the attitudinal barriers and the capacity barriers. So that's what this project was about. The first thing we needed to do is survey the state of the literature. What's already out there? What have people already found and studied? And let's build on that. And then we moved on to the second step of the measure development process, which was bringing in the real experts, specifically people who live in recovery housing, and so those are the residents, and then operators who run recovery housing. Then, after we finalized the survey, went through multiple rounds of helpful reviews, we launched an online national survey through a RedCap platform, and we recruited nearly 150 housing operators from across the U.S. and 250 of their recovery housing residents.
So this study has 3 aims. First, we will describe recovery housing operators' beliefs and attitudes toward medications for opioid use disorder, or MOUD, including methadone, buprenorphine, naltrexone, which are considered the gold standard of care for people with an opioid use disorder. Next, we will describe MOUD use patterns among recovery home residents with an opioid use disorder. And lastly, we will examine the relationship between operator beliefs and resident patterns of MOUD use. There's very little quantitative evidence on the questions of whether and to what extent recovery home residents with an opioid use disorder use MOUD during a stay in a recovery home. So this study represents one of the first that can leverage rich administrative and healthcare services use data in combination with an operator-level survey data to study this issue.
Integrated medication for opioid use disorder, so MOUD, into recovery housing has the potential to reduce overdose deaths and improve outcomes for individuals with opioid use disorder. However, research in recovery housing remains in its early stages with limited insights into how individuals receiving MOUD perceive recovery housing, and also what roles pharmacists can play in supporting this integration. So a key innovation in our approach is mobile pharmacies, which were recently made legal here in the state of Connecticut, thanks to my mentor, Dr. Sandra Springer's work in making it legal in the state of Connecticut to have a mobile pharmacy that includes a pharmacist, clinicians, community health workers who provide on-site screening and treatment for HIV, hepatitis C, and substance use disorder with specific focus on opioid use disorder. So this model allows us to reach communities that are not well served by our traditional pharmacy services. And in that way, it creates a new pathway to MOUD access and recovery support. So with this work, we're really hoping to see a more direct role of pharmacist in supporting people on MOUD to access recovery housing.